It's Reg and the Zoo.
It's Reg in the fucking zoo.
It's Reg in the fucking zoo, baby. We're back.
It's Reg in the fucking zoo.
It's Reg in the zoo. It's episode 15 here. We're coming from Western New York here. We've got a little bit of Buffalo local news. For anybody outside of Buffalo, you have got to be here. And that's why we talk Buffalo news first, local. Then we're going to turn it over to sports and talk a little bit of Buffalo Bills because we're from Buffalo. But we'll also be talking national sports. Also, we're going to find out who's the next 007 for crying out loud. We're going to talk our favorite old video game. And then we're going to listen to Jer's top 5 musical songs of the week. Then we'll probably just have a little bit of fun. It's Reg in the Zoo, episode 14. Stick around, we're going to have a bunch of fun. Hey guys.
Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 14 of Reg in the Zoo.
It's episode 14, and it feels like it's still our first episode.
Yeah, I believe in the intro you said 15.
No way.
I'm pretty sure you did.
No way. Hey, whatever. It's episode 14.
We'll just do a quick edit where we'll just throw 14.
14.
Right over it.
It's 14. So we've got some interesting things to talk about as per usual. We're going to obviously do the local thing, sports, music, movies. And then we try to talk about things that aren't necessarily talked about everywhere else. That's the goal. Other goals, sort of just give ourselves some practice, keep getting better. Obviously, it's just still the two of us, but we've already got one person who's sort of interested in coming around, and that's Brent. And he's actually going to be working with us probably at the regular 9 to 5-er. So that's
the
cool.
reg.
So that's sort of interesting. We'll probably, by the time the next episode comes around, we'll probably have somebody else here to help out with just getting some time codes, and they might help do some editing and stuff like that, so we can have just maybe some cuts or some shorter form videos for y'all. Because we know that there's not a whole lot of people listening, but there's probably at least one or two, and maybe one sick little kid that's like somehow picking up our signal, even though he's trapped in a barn somewhere.
Wait, say that again?
Yeah, so it's Reg in the Zoo, baby, and
What the fuck?
no, I was just saying there's probably one little kid out there who's trapped in a barn, like really warm, warm and dehydrated, but like the only sign of life he has is just this little signal that he's somehow picking up on like this old AM radio that's just
Like
hot wired.
Like frequency?
Yeah, he's chained to the wall, and he's been in there for like 17 days, but he's living like on this rabbit meat that he managed to scrape, and he's got hidden under the hay.
Maggot meat.
No, rabbit.
Rabbit
like
meat?
Like a bunny rabbit.
Oh.
He got one. Yeah.
What the fuck?
That'd be a good movie, I think.
Let's make it.
I've been thinking of a lot of good movies to make, actually. It's difficult. You wish that you had all the time and money in the world, but we were actually going to talk about how things can be done at scale and get started. One of which that you brought up was Always Sunny and how that got started.
Yeah, dude. Dude, how fucking sweet is it? I think they made their opening pilot for like $300 or something. There's a couple $100. They used their own camera. They even went around, filmed the intro of the show. They just took a camera, drove around Philadelphia.
Yeah,
like them three.
The actual intro is still like they're almost from like their original intro, right?
Yeah. I mean, so that thing's
and they use like music that was old and not licensable. I think.
Yeah, it's almost 20 years old.
I've always thought like it would be cool to use music of yesteryear that specifically find music that people don't have licensing on, not to like bastardize it, but to use it and like unearth it, like give it the life it deserves in terms of using old music that nobody's listened to forever and using that rather than try and use a budget for a song or a thing like that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty cool. I would love to find out more about that, and that's ultimately the goal in my career would be like do something with a movie, film somehow, make a horror film, or be on a set for a good production of a film.
Well, horror movies are like the best ones to start off with too. Like a lot of like John Carpenter, some of the first shit he did was horror. Like obviously like Halloween and everything. And then he pretty much ended up just sticking with that. But he originally wanted to make westerns, but those were expensive. Those are expensive. Any like time period piece like that when you got to build full on sets unless you're gonna CG it, but
Yeah.
that kind of takes away from it. But he wanted to do westerns, but he couldn't do them, so he did horror because the budget was low, and you can make a lot of money doing them.
Set and costume are two of my favorite things about movies, especially when it's a time period piece.
Yeah, I really like that.
Like
Paid close
Django,
attention.
Tarantino always does a good job with his costumes.
Even Once Upon a Time. Like I actually felt for
Yeah.
a little bit, you almost feel like that movie is actually made in that time period for a
Right.
little bit, but then
Yeah, there's a lot of attention to detail in those movies. Trying to think of another one that I was just watching. One of the best time period pieces, though, of all time is a movie called A Serious Man, and it's by the Coen brothers. And there's in the DVD, back when DVDs were normal,
DVDs.
there was a whole like section in the DVD menu of how they transformed it into like a late 1960s suburb, and they like took out power lines and they took out sidewalks. Like there was no sidewalks, and there was just so many little things like old antennas on the houses. Just really incredible costume and set design. That Serious Man is a great movie. Also, The Village, great set design. They built that whole village for that movie.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate that movie back in the day when I saw it. I guess I was expecting something a little different. Then I watch it, now. The movie's fucking great.
It's definitely up there in my top films, especially this time of year, because we're in the Northeast in Buffalo, New York,
Fighting Buffalo.
and we have great falls and real spooky seasons in the fall. It gets kind of weird here.
I think if you go up by like Lewiston, like right along the water there, or like what is it, Youngstown, and if you drive along the water, or if you just go down there, like there's some great spots because there's some older houses. Then you got the water right there. Like that's just a perfect setting in the fall, like around this time. Well,
Yeah.
maybe more October, even November-ish, because that still has like that fall feel to it, like
Yeah.
dead trees and everything.
Yeah.
That would be a great setting for a horror movie.
There's
for
a
sure.
lot of small towns too that just have like natural old, like almost Western front buildings that
Yeah.
are perfect, and that's why like John Krasinski came here to film, because we have like that nostalgic. There's so many little towns like around Buffalo that you could film a good horror movie in. So come to Buffalo and shoot a horror movie.
Did you see the part in the trailer with the bridges over on Grand Island?
No, well, yeah, I did see the trailer.
Yeah.
I saw this is for A Quiet Place 2, by the
Yeah,
way, that
yeah.
they shot here, because we have this tax break, I guess, that makes you save thousands of dollars on budget if you film here.
Probably millions.
Yeah,
When it's
true.
all said and done.
Yeah, definitely. As we sort of intro in with movies, but to kind of take it back to local, just a few things I wanted to mention. There was an awesome. I've been complaining about not being able to go see live music amidst the pandemic, and there was an awesome virtual event here in Buffalo that probably didn't get talked about enough. And again, that's why we're here, is to sort of practice what we preach, but also talk about things that don't really get the attention they deserve. One of those things is Music is Art. In Buffalo, they always do a nice festival outdoors, but it was interesting. I was sort of curious to see what they were going to do with the virtual thing going on. But it was awesome. They had like a website where each channel, you could go to multiple selections. I think it was miafest.org. or something like that. But if you were to go to the website, they had like maybe 12 different rooms, and these rooms were actual live feeds on YouTube of stages. So there was several in these warehouses where there were artists that had made these really cool stages, and they were like they weren't bullshit little stages.
Yeah, it was like legit.
There was some that looked like kind of
really
like
cool.
almost like old MTV. Like they looked kind of like that old MTV vibe.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And that was just really cool to see. There was a lot of people that must have done a lot of work on that. And there was even people that had stages at their homes, because the virtual event allows you to, they had a schedule just like if you were going to a music festival. There's always like, say, 5 stages at the festival, and then you've got a schedule and you can just follow which ones you want to go pick out. And that was sort of like what this was like. And the pessimist could definitely slam it. The pessimist could say there was definitely some shitty quality. A couple of the people had technical difficulty, but for me, it was a testament to the future of like concerts, music. And you hate to compare it to like the webcam girl, but that's, I think, with tipping and like things like that, that's what like musicians are gonna like play shows. And this is already happening. They're trying, but I could see it becoming more normalized in the future, where people could make some decent coin with the live streaming thing with regards to playing music. I've seen a few DJs doing it, but
Well, at the Browns game and the Bengals game, there was like, wasn't there like 6,000 people there? They were allowing some people there.
yeah, it's a little confusing. Some states are allowed to have people there and some aren't.
I think a fight broke out. There was like a fight in the crowd.
I actually didn't watch that because I was watching the Celtics, but
It was a pretty decent game, dude. I mean, obviously, the Browns won, but it was kind of funny, like, because of how bad they were in the first game.
yeah.
They felt like, I don't know, they felt like a good team, but it was still kind of wasn't that great of a game, but it was fucking sweet.
Yeah, I know Joe
I like
Burrow-
the Browns, that's why.
I know Joe Burrow threw the ball 61 times, but from what I've gathered, I didn't read up too much on it. I actually have Odell Beckham in one of my fantasy leagues, but from what I heard, Baker played decently.
Yeah, running back was fucking legit, too.
Was it? It wasn't Chubb. It was Kareem Hunt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that he was doing well.
He just, like, breaks so fast, dude. It's fucking legit.
Yeah, and that's a good example of someone taking advantage of getting back into the league, because he got in trouble for getting caught, getting in that little scrap with that girl, which turned into a big deal. It got him blackballed. He was playing for the Chiefs before, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, remember that.
Yeah. But yeah, that Joe Burrow kid, I say he's a kid, but really he's like a month or two younger. Don't quote me, but he's a few months younger than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Like, Burrow's not a spring chicken. He's coming in at like 25, I think.
Yeah.
He's 24 or 25 years old. But he's definitely good. Who else is good is Gabe Davis, receiver for the Bills, probably not getting talked about enough. He was the number 13 who caught the first ball of the game. It was just a quick little out. But he being like a third or fourth option is low-key a problem, and I'm just trying to get it out on the record now that I think he's going to be a real problem in this league, whether it's for the Bills long-term or not. He might be a guy that ends up getting a deal somewhere else, similar to Robert Woods, who just got a deal somewhere else. He just got paid for the Rams. But Gabe Davis played at UCF and Central Florida, and a few years ago they had a Cinderella run where they went undefeated, and they had a quarterback named Mackenzie Milton. And Mackenzie Milton was a guy, he's trying to come back, but it was almost like an Alex Smith story where he's a sub 6 foot quarterback, which I always root for, having been one, somewhat of one. But I know what it's like, so I root for those guys because it's incredible. But this Mackenzie Milton was so fun to watch, and he threw such a great ball. like uncharacteristically fast for a sort of sub 6 foot white kid, similar to like a Johnny Football, but not as erratic and crazy. Really under control, and he actually had like a total disaster of a gruesome knee injury. This was, I think, 2 years ago or a year ago. But Gabe Davis, I was looking up old highlights and realized that Gabe Davis played with this kid, Mackenzie Milton, on that run. And they had a few other athletes that are still there. But it was just interesting that I remember watching Gabe Davis now in college because I was watching that quarterback. So that's exciting that he's not getting talked about probably enough. I've seen through social media he's made it on a couple one-on-one highlights, but he's a guy, he's like 6'3". He's not little, and I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah, let's definitely keep an eye out.
Yeah.
And keep it posted on the weekly basis.
Yeah, but I wanted to shout out on that Music is Art. There's a few artists that were playing. I just wanted to give them a quick shout out if anyone ever watches this, which they will. And who knows, these people will have it on record, and when these people make it virally or non-virally and just are popular, you'll have heard it first here. Pennsylvania Line, PA Line, they're a local band, but this kid, I actually met him at Nietzsche's one night.
Nietzsche's, man, I haven't been there in forever.
Yeah. Allen Rat's lifestyle, I used to call it when I was an Allen Rat, just hanging around Allen bars. But he is just, his name's Trevor, but he's the front of that band, and they had an awesome set. They had this kid come in on the right, or I'm sorry, older guy come in on the right, just playing some like drum like between his knees. But he was like older, and he gave it like a really cool vibe. But they have a really great sound. He's outstanding artist, but they're a little bit like Mumford and Sons. I would definitely compare. Then there was a dude and a dudette named Green Schwinn, and this guy had like a Tiny Tim style voice, like you know this
from
Christmas Carol through the tulips. No, from Insidious.
Oh my God! Okay.
From Insidious. This Green Schwinn. If anybody ever finds anything. They were really talented. It was a chick playing guitar and this dude with like a red beard, and he had the craziest voice. It was really like borderline comical, but just outstanding musical work. Then there was also Sarah Elizabeth, who I believe was one of the stage creators. Like she was like the sponsor of that stage, but she was also outstanding musician. Chris Squire Band, also impressive. Never heard of them, but they were like a really cool, down-to-earth, almost like Dave Matthews Bandish kind of vibe, but they were awesome. And then there was a couple young dudes rapping named Mindset, and they had me cracking the fuck up. They were really good. And then two last ones, Conway the Machine, who's a Buffalo rapper. He has a new album out, From a King to a God. It's really good. You should check it out. It's just got a really, really... If you've ever heard anything by like Griselda Records or sort of that group, Griselda, which consists of Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, and Westside Gunn, it's just so real, and like it's got like a almost mid 2010s kind of Kanye, Jay-Z vibe to it, but with like a sprinkle of Buffalo, and it's so real and raw. But the beats on that Conway the Machine album are just fucking killer, and the bars are legit. Then, lastly, I just wanted to shout out Luke Mon, who used to work as an intern with us at Bean Media. He's been doing a lot of directing of music videos, and I saw two that he did for Mile High Music. Check them out also, Mile High Music with a Z, M-U-Z-I-K. One song called Pray For Me. Really great framing, really interesting lyrics. It had like 3 parts to it. One was like alcoholism, one was like, I can't remember, and then the third one was like social media addiction.
Okay, yeah.
But the way that Lukemon's been cutting those videos and shooting them, like, he's going to make movies. This kid is very talented. So I just wanted to shout them out from the locals. And then that sort of transitions us into 007, the new possible 007.
Yeah, I wanted to look that up. That's one of the things.
I heard a rumor that Tom Hardy was going to be playing the new 007, and I didn't open up any clickbaity articles on more information behind it, but that would make me want to get back into 007 again. I'm not going to lie, I'm not huge on that one really good-looking blonde guy.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, like, he's awesome. Don't get me wrong. And he's like a devout movie star. Hands down, great looking, great actor. But I just don't like watching him that much. He doesn't, like, kick ass for me. He did Knives Out also.
He was in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. Did they ever actually make any of the second or third ones of those with the actual actress, or were they just like the Russian versions?
I think just the Russian versions. Yeah, that's all it was that because, yeah, they didn't do anything else with her.
That chick was cool in that. Yeah, so is it true that Tom Hardy is going to be the new 007?
Yeah, Tom Hardy.
Do you have any proof over there on the tech?
It says, on what is this here? Evening Standard in the UK says Tom Hardy has reportedly been cast as the next James Bond to replace Daniel Craig, and that he auditioned back in June.
Interesting. Tom Hardy's a guy. Now here's a guy. Chris Collinsworth. Me Hardy. I don't know if everybody knows this. I'm sure people know it by now. But he was a total shit show, just like me. And I don't know if you were at any point in your life, but everybody's probably turned their life into a shit show at some point in their life, which we talk about openly here on Reggie in the Zoo. But Tom Hardy was like doing crack and woke up. He woke up like face first in his own like vomit on a street, and like he's a sober guy. He's a guy that got sober, and I think he got sober around like 27, 28, and look where it got him. So I like to think that there's a good chance, probably going to end up being, my life personally will probably follow a similar path as Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
So
you have to look at it that way.
Yeah. The possibilities are endless.
Exactly.
I think if I was alone in a room with him, he'd be fun to be around. I heard he's a little bit... he might be a little bit bisexual, I heard. I'm not sure if that's true or not.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear that?
There's like a video of him being asked, like,
yeah, he's doing, and I know he's done some weird stuff, but I'm sure most of those guys have done some weird stuff.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
How else do you make it?
Let him do his thing. I don't care. He's fucking a great actor. I mean, dude, he's like known for one of his body transformations for his movies.
Bane.
Like, he used to be like super skinny, super tiny.
Yeah.
And then he fucking like started blowing up for Bronson, and then even bigger for Bane. But in between that, he did that one MMA movie. I forgot what it's called.
I don't know if I've seen that. I know he also did. He had very few lines in that one Prohibition movie.
What was it?
Shia LaBeouf is in it.
He was like the older brother.
Yeah.
Legend or something?
That's a good movie.
No, not Legend. Legend's, fuck. Let me think.
That's a good movie, though. He always plays a similar character. I will say that. But he's awesome.
Warriors, the movie.
Warrior is the MMA movie?
MMA movie, yeah.
Does he play the actual fighter?
Yeah, they don't play, I don't think they play real life people. He plays like, he ends up like having to fight his brother and shit, but he got whatever these muscles are right back here.
Traps.
He got fucking giant ones and shit. Like,
yeah, he's got those
then he
weird
went on,
steroid traps.
Yeah, and then he did Bane and all that shit.
Yeah, he's sick. The movie Bronson is sick, and it's a true story. If anybody's not seen the movie Bronson,
that movie's something else.
Yeah, Charlie Bronson was a real guy, though.
I can quote that movie.
You knew that, right? That was a totally true story.
Yeah, he was the most notorious prisoner in history over there.
Yeah, they would basically have this guy fight, and he was like just an absolute savage, and he basically was just an entertainment source throughout England because they would just bring him into random prisons to fight people and bet on it and shit. But the way that they show mental health in that movie is so good. Like when it cuts to the monologues of him like on stage and he's just like talking to the camera and doing random shit.
Yeah, like how he's got
My name's Charles Bronson.
the way his face is
All
painted.
my life I've wanted to be famous.
The way his face is painted is fucking sweet.
Yeah.
It added so much to it.
Yeah. Great flick. Great flick. Gotta check out Bronson.
He does some fucking crazy shit in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my god, dude. Like when the cops beat the living shit out of him and then they get close up to him and he's still talking shit.
You fucking cunt.
Oh my god,
He just keeps
dude.
screaming. If you don't like the C word, maybe don't watch this movie because he
Like,
uses it a lot.
He rubs butter like all over his body. It's his armor.
Because he's all slippery.
That's right.
He's
Rub it
all
on-
naked.
Rub it on my ass cheeks. He's like, dude.
He's just super slippery.
I just like when he like randomly screams. Like he goes and robs that jewelry store.
Yeah.
And he's like, I forgot what he says.
It's one of the ones that I saved for later. Like I've seen it a few times, but I'm saving it so I forget some things and can rewatch it.
I've only seen it twice. And that was like 4 years ago probably.
Yeah, I watched it a few times. My cousin Kate told me to watch it. So I checked it out and then I ended up watching it like 5 times. And then I put it to bed. Did you ever have a Sega Dreamcast?
Never had Dreamcast, no.
Sega Dreamcast was underrated, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way.
It was pretty lit. And NFL 2K on Sega Dreamcast, I randomly revisited that, and I was looking at some old game footage, and I was like, this shit was bomb.
Dude, well, Sega had some of the best games. Because for a while...
I had Super Nintendo.
Well, for a while, you can either only have Nintendo and Sega.
Yeah.
But then PlayStation came out. And then when PlayStation came out, I think N64 came out a little bit after that. And then you had those two, and like Dreamcast came out as well. I remember GameCube too.
I'm not a huge gamer. I like to play sports games. I'll play some NBA 2K, but I mean these kids get so fucking good.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
I play Formula 1 2020 right now. That's my game.
Are you
Look
any
me
good,
up.
or do you
Gamer
get worked?
tag Demon Seaman.
Really? That's your gamer tag?
Yeah.
Fucking dork.
What, dude?
How old are you, bro? Grow up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Isn't that from that band Guar?
It could be. I'm not sure.
Guar shoots demon semen the whole show. Chet told me that once.
Yeah, they do, I think.
Yeah, they like spray like squirt guns of like stuff, and they say that they squirt the crowd with demon semen.
Yeah,
surprised
I
you
didn't
know
know
that.
that.
Surprised you had a fucking gamer tag with that, and you didn't know that.
Ah, dude.
I'm just kidding.
We recorded with our friend back in the day, and he said this band came in and like kept saying Demon Seaman, and then he mentioned it to me,
This is probably
and then I just adopted it because it sounds awesome.
yeah. I've never been to a Guar show. I almost went to one.
Dude, there's a bunch of people with that gamer
I'd go to
tag.
one now. Yeah.
There's a bunch of people with that gamer tag because if you type in the regular like how it's spelled, that's taken. If you add like an A, it's taken. If you use an O, it's taken. So
You want to know what my gamer tag is?
what?
It was my AOL Instant Messenger screen name.
Fucking fruit fly.
Yeah,
You
fairy.
see it, dude? Like you see it, it's just fucking around.
Literally, fruit flies are fairies. You heard it here first. I'm calling it. Eventually, they're gonna announce that. But, what were we just talking about? I got short-term memory loss.
Yeah, I think I kind of got short-term memory loss there too, because when that fly flew in front
Yeah,
of us.
that fairy just put a spell on
The
us.
fuck, you fucking fruit flies.
Fucking fairies, boys!
Fucking buffalo.
Couple of fairies! Well, I forgot what I was gonna say, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, we were talking Tom Hardy for a little bit. That went well. Now look what happens.
Yeah, we were talking about Tom Hardy.
I'll tell you what, though, dude. I'm loving this new e-cig I got. It's legit.
I don't know if I like these better or not, but I'm saving money by getting this kind.
I'd let you use this, but
I'm not
COVID.
sharing with you, bro.
But COVID, yo.
I'm not sharing with you, bro. So this podcast is pointless, and I'm sorry you're here. If you're still here, thank you.
Dude,
No, I'm just kidding.
This is like the best one yet. Look
Yeah.
at this new table setup.
Yeah, we've got a
Look,
new
I keep
table.
hitting my fucking mic.
Well, take it easy and watch your mouth. I'm just kidding. Still just kidding.
This is what I like deal with, guys, every day.
I think that at some point we should do a special on local Western New York urban legends.
Well, we can do that. Insane Asylum.
Well, there's Pigman. Like, there's Pigman's Road.
Pigman's Road. I did that shit.
I used to have a book. And then there's Gutelberg. I've never been there.
Gutelberg's lame. And anytime you go there, you get kicked out.
Really?
There's somebody that lives, like, right there.
Well, the urban legends are still relevant of being urban legends of, like...
I got a great Well, I guess it's not great, but I got a Gutelberg story.
Let's hear it.
We went there. It's a
Story
super
time
small
with the zoo.
Super small cemetery. All right,
I'm
it's
gonna
just
lean
out in the
back.
middle of East Bumfuck.
I'm gonna do sound effects.
We go there. You got to park like on this little side, gravel road. I don't know if it's paved or anything now. I mean, I haven't been there since I was a teenager, but these are the worst sound effects.
That's you guys pulling up.
So after that, so you get there, we get out, we walk up.
Three doors. How many people?
It's so me, my high school girlfriend, her sister, her friends, my girlfriend's friends, a couple of my friends. So there's like 10 of us probably total.
Well, no wonder you got kicked out. You guys weren't low key at all.
Well, anyway, there's graves there, and then there's a pond and everything.
Yeah, that's where they used to dump the babies.
So the pond looks kind of cool because there was like a mist coming off of it.
Yeah, that's where they used to throw the dead babies there.
Yeah, so well, that looked legit. But then
the urban legend of Gutelberg was that there was a guy, right? I feel as though you have to say why you went there first. What was the...
I totally forgot the whole reasoning. I don't know the story anymore. I thought it had to do with kids, and there's they're buried there. There's like a family buried there or some shit.
From what I remember, it was related to the doctor was like a sick bastard, and he would do abortions and throw the babies in the water, and also dead mothers in the water.
Yeah, I guess
that's
that could be
what I remember as the urban legend.
Well, then that's why we went there to find these dead babies.
So, but you pulled up. So you pull up to the pond, and that
we pulled up, and then you got to walk. You walk past the graves. There's only a few there. There's not many, and then you get the pond that's like behind it a little bit. So what I did is before we went, we walked away. I had a wild cherry Pepsi. I put it on top of my car. And I just left it there. Just left it on top of the car, made sure nobody saw me do it or anything. And then, we end up walking there. We're there probably for 25 minutes, maybe half hour. And we're down by the pond, and then we're like, all right, let's just get out of here, go back or whatever. And as we're walking halfway back, I'm just like, oh shit, I left my drink down by the water. I got to go back and get it. And then my girlfriend's like, no, Zulu, come on. We don't got time. Let's just go. And I think her friend was saying that too because they were getting all spooked out and shit. It was not scary. But anyway, they were getting spooked out. And
Sounds scary.
And then we get back to...
And you were trying to scare them.
And then we get back to my car. And I'm like, my drink is on top of my car. And they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, it's super hard for me to keep a straight face. I kept it for maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, is somebody fucking with me here? I'm like, I left it down by the water. I wanted to go back and get it, and you guys told me not to. And then they're all freaking out. And then I just fucking started laughing so fucking loud.
See, you're the guy that the ghost kills first.
Ghost couldn't kill me.
You're the guy in the movie that
Ghost couldn't
makes
kill
jokes.
Me.
You try to make that joke about your drink, and then later on in the film, you're by yourself, and all of a sudden your drink just hits you in the face, and there's no one around, and you're like, what the fuck? And nobody says anything. And then you're trying to tell everybody, and then they don't believe you.
Paranormal Activity type shit.
That was a great idea, that movie. I always think that was such a cool idea, and there has been so many copycats of it and follow-ups, but the original one was so scary.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. Some of those movies I can't really watch more than once, though.
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
But the first one in theaters was legit. Yeah. I really enjoyed it because I was you were able to really kind of think oh, this could be real.
Yeah, footage like that, the found footage concept is cool.
There's a lot of those weird videos of ghosts appearing. I just saw one in Gettysburg. I want to go to Gettysburg. I believe in ghosts.
Gettysburg?
Yeah, but people say Gettysburg. So I said Gettysburg.
Gettysburg? I mean, it's spelled that way.
They say Gettysburg.
Gettysburg.
Gettysburg. But there was a really cool.
I went there like 3 years ago, but not like on a spooky day or anything. It was like end of winter kind of, so it was just.
I went in
crazy.
as a little kid.
It's huge.
Yeah.
You just kind of look around. I mean, I think you have to get a tour because if you don't know what you're looking at. You don't know where armies were coming from or anything like that. I mean, I feel like you have to get a tour.
We did when I was little. It was like a CD. You put in a CD in the car and you just drive around and it would just guide you through.
Wow, I was literally just thinking something like that in my head. That's crazy.
Yeah, it would just take you through, and then there was like they'd throw in like fake sounds.
Yeah.
Not like overkill, but just to kind of like there'd be a little bit in the background. It was done well. It was fun. But I want to go back as an adult. But there was a video on the internet. I'm sure if you look up, just Google Gettysburg ghosts. There's a recent video that was just found, and it looks like there's two of them. They're like running and hiding behind shit, and it looks legit. It looks wild. That would be and it's nighttime, like, and it's all hazy and foggy and stuff like that. But it's a creepy little vid. Creepy little vid. I definitely want to make a horror movie though.
I know, dude. Something just so fascinating about horror movies and just that whole genre.
I feel like we have to just make one.
They're making an Omen prequel. Let's see here.
That's weird. How does that work?
Apparently, it's taken forever to make.
There's a new movie out that I have not seen yet, but I'll probably see by the time we do another one, and that is Antebellum. And I can't see who directed it because I'm not sure if Jordan Peele's on it or not. Also, I realized that The Witch, I always thought The Witch was directed by Ari Aster, or Ari Aster, however you say it, but it's actually was a Robert Eggers movie, and that's, I think, who did The Lighthouse. So The Lighthouse and The Witch are made by Robert Eggers, I believe, and Hereditary and Midsommar are made by Ari Aster, both of which are weird because they have like this. I think it's so weird that like the movies always end with like a demon or like the hero becoming like victoriously evil. And I think that's such a weird precedent for movies to start making of like people like becoming evil at the end and winning, and then people leaving the movie theater having felt like, oh, that's what I should do. I think that's so weird. Like horror movies were always like the dark side loses. And now horror movies are like join Black Phillip, the fucking devil goat. And then float in the forest naked.
The movie's done by Gerard Bush and Christopher Rentz.
Well, it looks really, really cool. It looks like a Jordan Peele kind of shot movie.
It's got 28% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
And on IMDb, it's got 5.5 out of 10.
Interesting. I don't always trust those.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that have bad ratings that I love.
Yeah, definitely.
I can care less what other people think.
We were talking about good, bad movies recently, and I feel like there was a whole period of our like middle to high school era that was all like good, bad movies. We talked about The Animal with Rob Schneider. Awful, great movie.
Deuce Bigelow.
Corky Romano.
Gigolo. Corky Romano.
Such a good, bad movie.
Christopher Penn. Is that who? Chris Penn?
Chris Penn, yeah. Monkey Bone, another awful movie, but still good. Bedazzled, another awful.
I kind of like. I like that movie.
Bedazzled is a low key
I love when he's the
killer movie.
I love when he's the super tall basketball player.
Yeah, that's like LeBron.
Went out there,
he's gotta get 110%.
Yeah. And he's just sweating.
Just drenched in sweat. I love how he's just like hitting everything.
And he's got like a tiny thing or whatever.
Every single thing he wishes for, he ends up getting like the devil tricks him into thinking like there's a catch to everything.
Yeah, that was a pretty good movie. I like that movie.
Great movie.
I like that.
Shia LaBeouf just did. The movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High is a classic. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's a classic like 80s movie.
What's it called?
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh yeah, everybody's seen that.
Yeah, they did like a Fast Times live thing where these celebrities were doing this read, and I think there was like some charity thing with it where Like Morgan Freeman was in it. Jimmy Kimmel was in it. Brad Pitt was in it. Sean Penn was in it.
Did he play Spicoli?
No. Shia LaBeouf played Spicoli. And if you go on Twitter, you can find it. But like there's like Zoom. They're doing the read of the script, but they're all sitting like at home. And Shia LaBeouf comes on, and he's literally just absolutely toasted, stoned, and he's in full character. Like everybody's just doing a read, and nobody really like got into physical character. But Spicoli, aka Shia LaBeouf, of course, the legend, he like was all like. And like right into character, and he's got like a joint like lit, and he like doesn't have a shirt on for the opening part that like the surfers don't have a shirt on. And it was just that's worth checking out. If you go check out that Fast Times Live, Shia LaBeouf does a really funny job in that. There's a crack of cold ski.
When did that come out?
The Fast Times Live thing, it was within the last 48 hours.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I kept seeing this fucking Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt fucking shit on social media.
Oh, I didn't know about that. That's funny. I didn't know if she was involved in it. Also, another movie that did a great job with the little was Swingers.
Swingers is good. That was like my brother's favorite movie. He started dressing like those dudes. So
Yeah.
he had all like those button-down shirts that like
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn was wearing. Yeah, that was a really good movie. My brother had this sweet picture on his wall growing up of them where they're all sitting around the table. All the characters are sitting around the table. And like none of them obviously looking at the camera, but it looks like such a classic shot. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I didn't watch it yet, but Vince Vaughn's in a new movie called The Binge. I started it, didn't watch it yet, fell asleep. Trying to think of what else I've seen lately.
I don't know. I feel like I don't really find Vince Vaughn entertaining anymore.
I still think he's good.
I mean, all of his other movies, like his older ones, are great, but anything new, it's just.
He's funny in Rudy as the running back, asshole running back.
Is he the running back or is he wide receiver or quarterback?
He's the running back that like is bitching about the line and stuff. He's like being a prima donna and he gets benched. He's like a senior.
Rudy. He's so little.
I guess we can't not do a quick update on the NBA. The Celtics are down 0-2. They play today. They are down 0-2 to the Heat, who are playing absolutely sick. The Heat have like 3 layers of experience. This Bam Adebayo, the center, is really playing well. They have 2 young kids, Tyler Hero and I can't ever remember his name, Duncan Robinson, who have been they're rookies and they're playing out of their mind, fearless. But they have Jimmy Butler and Jamison Crowder, and Celtics have blown 2 leads. They were up 15 and 14, game 1 and 2, and they lost. They had a huge fight after the game in the locker room. As a Celtics fan, I'm not feeling great about their chances, but Gordon Hayward might be coming back, and that could be a good sign. They might turn it around tonight. And the other side, the Nuggets upset the Clippers. They came back from 3-1, 2 series in a row, and they're led by this Nikolai Jokic, who's a center, and Jamal Murray, and those 2 are like under 25, and they're going to be around a while. But Jamal Murray is like fearless. He scores at will. He's not afraid. But they've got to play the Lakers now. They're down 0-1. And LeBron's like,
Yeah, dude.
once again
Take
proving.
your time. Slow down a little
Well,
bit.
I've got the bubbles. But LeBron proves once again that he's one of the greatest of all time. We could sit here and debate all day on who is, but he made his 16th straight first team All-Pro. 16 years, only guy ever to make 16 All-Pro years. But he looks good. He always activates in the playoffs. And then they have Rajon Rondo, who used to play for the Celtics. And he's been a huge help to have the Lakers back. But I'm hoping the Celtics can turn it around tonight. But it's not looking great. But But again, they had Gordon Hayward out, so it's not an excuse to lose because they were up by freaking almost 20 points twice in a row and lost. But that's just a little quick update on the NBA. But obviously football started and Josh Allen looks like a freaking top 5 guy.
Minus 2 fumbles, though.
Yeah, that, the 2 fumbles he did have, obviously you don't like to see that. He's running a lot. Hopefully he's not running that much this week.
There's going to be limited in-person attendance at this weekend's game against the Dolphins.
Yeah, it'll probably be all Bills fans. We have a lot of Bills backers around the country. I've followed quite a few of them on Instagram, so shout out to Bills backers national. I've seen Miami, I've seen LA, I've seen Cleveland, I've seen Eugene. I try to follow all of them that I can because hopefully, we can be a little bit of a source of information for them and give them a little spoonful of Buffalo every time they want to listen to a podcast or watch a podcast, which we're going to try and make a little bit better. I was thinking about it, and it's kind of hard to not have the viewer get one cut. So we're going to try and have some more people help out just because it's a lot. I challenge anybody
when you're working full time.
Yeah,
this is just a side thing.
This is the second side gig swig. This is still and will remain because I used to booze quite a bit, and I wouldn't have the energy to do this stuff if I was still boozing. So, dedication to living a nice booze-free lifestyle. You have the extra energy to do this stuff, so that's exciting.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I love doing this.
What else do you have? What's up in Formula One? Anything new?
Sebastian Vettel's going to race point. Sergio Perez getting the boot. There's a lot of negative talk about that, especially if you're a race point fan because they all like Sergio Perez. But Sebastian Vettel, he's a 4-time world champion, and he just needs the right car to be able to do it again. And Race Point's one of the top ones now. They're, better than Ferrari right now. Still the top 2 are Mercedes and Red Bull, though. They're still unstoppable. But Pierre Gasly, he fucking got his first F1. He finished first, sorry. The first time he ever finished first in F1, and it came out.
Got the dub.
Dude, it was fucking sweet. Lewis Hamilton got hit with a 10-second penalty or something. So,
what was it for? Do you know?
I think he exceeded track limits or some shit. I can't remember what it was for the life of me, but it was a huge thing. So that was really cool to see somebody else win. He's on the AlphaTauri team or AlphaTauri for Red Bull. Red Bull has 2 teams in F1. So they got 4 drivers total. And the main Red Bull team is Max Verstappen and Alex Albon. And Alex Albon just got his first podium last weekend. But
Top 3? Is that what podium is?
Yeah. But yeah, still, I think Lewis Hamilton's still going to be the world champion easily. But yeah, other than that, the biggest thing is just Vettel going to Race Point.
Race Point!
And then, there was a couple accidents right in the beginning. They had to stop the race. Safety car came out. They reformed, and then they started back up. And then there was a fucking accident as soon as they started back up again. So that kind of knocked 5 cars out. So it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that sounds scary.
Yeah, nothing too much. But I'm looking forward to watching tomorrow morning.
Yeah, the Bills have the Dolphins tomorrow, so I think we'll probably come out on top.
Probably our most famous rival.
Yeah, one of a few. Squish the fish. I think we'll finish that off. I was going to probably close with my 5 songs of the pod. Did you have anything else before I do that?
Not really.
I think I've got to take a poop.
I'm just fucking starving. I got to eat something.
I had a little bit of Tim Hortons today, but that's all I had, and now my stomach's making weird noises. So, this podcast is brought to you by Irritable Bowel Syndrome. From when you turn 30 and everything starts to hurt inside. I get stomach aches so much now. I had stomach aches as a little kid, and I've always felt like adults thought that I was like faking it, and I still get them, and now I still think adults think I fake it, and I'm like, I'm struggling over here, guys.
Did you ever tell that to your doctor?
I don't have health insurance.
Dude, get to a fucking doctor.
I will be fine. I don't need no goddamn doctor.
Yeah, I don't got health insurance either.
Wah, wah. But hey, we've got a podcast, and that's all that counts sometimes because we could talk about it. We could put it on the record.
Why we fucking just need universal health care.
Yeah, we definitely need at least something.
There's no reason we shouldn't. Like, what the fuck? With the amount of money, like, I don't even want to get into it.
Yeah,
just the amount of money they get is unbelievable. And why the fuck can't we have universal health care with all that fucking money? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the third party kind of thing is really it really grinds my gears. We'll have another day to talk about that probably.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down with raising taxes a little bit.
Yeah, I'll pay taxes to not pay a health insurance
Exactly.
company.
I'll pay like what they would probably only need like an extra penny per dollar.
I pay the government before I pay like shitty insurance company XYZ.
Yeah.
All right, well, my 5 songs I'm going to close out with.
Okay.
YouTube algorithm. These are 5 songs I listened to since the last time we talked. One song popped up on my Facebook memories, and it's a song that I always forget. It's a band called Funeral Suits. It's a really creepy video. Check it out on YouTube. Song called All Those Friendly People. Funeral Suits, All Those Friendly People. Great song. Also, listen to a classic called The Warrior by Scandal and Patti Smith. Classic, oldies, corny female singer song. And then I've got John 5 and the Creatures, Crank It, which I don't know if you've ever heard of John 5.
John 5?
Yeah.
No, only the movie Short Circuit.
Johnny 5.
Johnny
Johnny
5
alive.
Johnny 5.
But I think you would really like John 5. There's a video of John 5 basically almost getting into a fist fight playing with Marilyn Manson. So I don't know what their connection is. We'll have to do some research. But Crank It. It's a great song. It really just turns you right up. I listened to an old Rage Against the Machine song that I wasn't fully privy to called Fistful of Steel. Sort of a classic, but got some really cool lyrics. And once again, they just almost like were time travelers playing music 20 years ago, and we're right back where they were talking about somehow. And then lastly, shout out to the band Mountain, which even though my real last name is Mountain, I
can't believe you just
never
said that on the air.
Yeah, I don't care. I've never listened really to the band Mountain too much. I knew they existed, but there's a song called Nantucket Sleigh Ride.
Nantucket Sleigh Ride?
By the band Mountain.
That's
worth a listen.
I'll check it out.
So I wanted to share my algorithm. Do you have any tracks that you wanted to mention that you might have been listening to lately?
Honestly, dude, lately I've been listening to old Blink-182.
I had a whole session with old Blink recently.
Like Enema of the State, Dude Ranch.
Enema of the State was the first album and first band T-shirt I ever had.
Yeah, dude, they were awesome back in the day.
The girl on the album was so hot.
And now Tom DeLonge just fucking researches UFOs.
He basically declassified aliens with that NASA video, and then NASA came out and said yeah, we don't know what it was. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know all that shit that he's going
The
on.
videos are corny. They just look like a little blip.
I think he wrote a book too.
Angels and Airwaves is good too, though, to listen to.
Yeah, Boxcar Racer was fucking sweet.
I used to read Boxcar Children when I was a little kid. They were a book series.
Never heard of him.
The Boxcar Children. I don't know. That just came out of my back left fart of my brain.
I used to read Goosebumps when I was younger.
Goosebumps. Great show, too.
Those were classics. Yeah, dude, that's right. There
Great
was a show.
stories.
Wasn't the show on?
We could just steal a Goosebumps story and make it R-rated.
Yeah, I mean, those books are only 60
There's so
pages.
many scary stories. That's the thing. You wouldn't even need to write an original horror movie. You could just take a story and just add adaptation of it. Do an adaptation of it.
Adaptation. Delicious.
Mars Attacks. That was what that noise was.
Tim Burton, Jack Nicholson. That's fucking great. That's a great movie. I fucking love that movie.
What was the Mr. Peepers we were just watching?
Oh, Chris Kattan on
Chris
SNL.
Kattan as Mr. Peepers. But that's worth the watch too. Check out Mr. Peepers' old Saturday Night Live.
And if anybody knows where to find Goat Boy and the Joe Pesci Show,
yeah, Goat Boy's really hard to find.
Jim Brewer used to do. Please share with us.
Jim Brewer,
I have no fucking idea where to find it.
He literally, I heard him talking on a podcast not long ago about how hard it is to find Goat Boy. Like for anybody to find Goat Boy. Yeah, that's definitely a classic.
He talks about in one of his stand-ups how he started that.
Yeah, he tells this whole story, and I
he's fucking hilarious. I love Jim Brewer.
I can't remember who that interview was with. I wish I knew, but there's probably a few on Goat Boy, but the legend of Goat Boy is definitely worth at least researching for the young kids out there.
I love the Joe Pesci Show. That shit's hilarious.
The Joe Pesci Show. Jim Carrey, I guess, is going to be doing Saturday Night Live and playing Joe Biden, apparently. That'll be funny. There's no way that's not funny.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Are they they're doing that from home though, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It probably will do something like video, pre-recorded video. But still, I'm looking forward to seeing, because Carey is extremely anti-Trump throughout his social media. If you go on his Twitter,
he
paints like crazy paintings and shit.
Yeah, no, he's a fucking awesome artist. There's a great few videos documenting it, but I don't get, so the NFL can go back and play, the NBA players can go back and play, but a film crew can't go film, and they don't have to have an audience there. They can just do SNL,
right?
With just the cast and crew.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
New York.
A lot of those shows, come on, if I don't know, you get tested, do all that shit, get tested every time, every week, every whatever, however it's done.
It's interesting. Who knows if Saturday Night Live will even make it back to what it was. Might end up changing, never be in the studio again. Hopefully not.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that's going to be changing over the next few years.
One final piece of news I've got, actually. A guy in Detroit, I was just thinking of Blues Brothers when you said that, and we were thinking about some old SNL, but a guy in Detroit did a drawbridge jump, and he made it, but he got pulled over afterwards because his whole windshield blew out and all four tires blew out. And it turned out that he was ripped on whippets. So this kid, they interviewed this dude, Andre, and they're interviewing him on what happened. And he's just like, man, I seen him coming. I was like, oh, no, he ain't. And then he does it. And then he's like, but he made it. It was like a fucking Dodge Stratus 4-door, bro. And he made it.
That's fucking
hilarious. He made the jump. And they were saying, one cop said it was like Dukes of Hazzard. So then the guy asked, Andre, we heard the cop said it was like Dukes of Hazzard. And he's like, I mean, it was more like, I said it was like Blues Brothers. And then they cut to the B-roll of Blues Brothers of them jumping the bridge.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they're saying they're trying to find the footage of the actual jump. But
I've been watching live PD videos here and there.
It's not on anymore.
It's not, but they got all this YouTube shit. It's fucking great. Some of the stuff these people say and they do,
it's
because obviously it's real. They're not hiring actors. This is real shit. And just what they say, it's all of it's the same thing. It's not my car.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I can't believe that's in there. I had no idea. My son was driving this car the other day. It's are you kidding me?
It's so funny how people think that what is about to happen isn't about to happen. People really think that people are going to get let off every time. And then they're so sad when they get arrested.
I know, dude. That's fucking crazy.
There ain't nothing worse than being locked up, though.
They're going to lock me up.
Locked up. They won't let me out. Your freedom is what's most important. Don't ever sacrifice your freedom. Don't ever do anything stupid. And
freedom isn't free.
Freedom
because folks like you and me.
Freedom.
If you don't pay that Bucko 5. Ooh.
Well, they take our lives, but they may never take our freedom. So take advantage of your freedom. Make a podcast, make a video, do something creative. Stay tuned to the next episode.
Subscribe.
Yeah,
follow us, YouTube, Google,
Spotify,
Apple.
I
think
Podcasts.
I said Spotify twice.
Listen to us. Know that our video is going to get better. For now, maybe just listen to us in the car a little bit because we're a great couple guys. We'll end up having some more other people. We're not going to stop this. So we're going to eventually probably extend the network and have, a couple other personalities so we can have more content. If you ever have an idea, if you ever want to come on and talk about your idea, if you feel that you might have an idea for us and what you can bring to the table. I've talked to a few people through Instagram about interviews. I've got like a whole list of people that I'd love to have on that are like just doing really cool stuff around. So, stay tuned. We're going to keep doing podcasts, but ultimately it's been really fun for me to get on the record and do some of these things. But stay tuned for more because why not? It's the year of the podcast. Everybody and their fucking brother is doing a podcast now, so it's going to be hard for us to get into the viewership, but whatever. Maybe it'll take us to the next level and it'll get us some new opportunities and some new blessings.
Hopefully there's no, what's that girl that was doing OnlyFans? Forgot her name already.
Bella
Thorne. Hopefully
Bella
there's no
Thorne.
Bella Thorne that's going to fuck up podcasts for us.
Yeah, for real. But stay tuned, babies.
Reg in the Zoo, episode 14.
It's a wrap. We'll see you next week. Blanc, blanc, blanc.
Shaka.
How long was that? I don't even know.
I will check. Dude, we weren't even fucking recording.